And good morning, he said to the people watching this early. Whenever you're watching this, when it's not morning, good, whatever time it is. Summer cable, good stuff. Oh, by the way, if you're watching this when it comes out, the Thomann Early Cyber Week is still happening, so check that out. Not sponsored by Thomann. Next week, we're going to talk a bit about gear for music, cyber something, and we're going to check out the deals. Can't talk about it yet because I don't know what the deals are. And there's going to be a very, very, I think, entertaining video coming for the Thomann Cyber Week. But there's some cool stuff already, like at Thomann, a head rush and a red quad cortex. Check it out. I'll link below. That's not what this is about. Not sponsored by any of them because I'm gonna complain a bit about shops. Because one of you, can't remember who, can't remember where, might have been Facebook, wrote to me and said, hey, I got money. He wasn't bragging. And I'm trying to buy a very nice guitar. And for that, I would go into a custom shop. And no matter where I go, I feel alienated. I feel insulted. I feel not welcome. And the more people I talk to, the more this seems to be an actual thing. And I can't argue with it because I feel the same way. Even now, if I walk into a guitar shop, usually people recognize me. Walking into the section where there's the normal guitars, right? Up to 1,000, 2,000, whatever, 3,000 euro. It's all good. They'll ask you to be careful with the instruments, but they're buddies. They're trying to help you out to find the right instrument. But I feel that in a lot of places, not everywhere, I can't talk for every store, obviously, because I haven't been in every store. And there's some stores that are purely custom shop level. It kind of always feels, or most of the time, not always, most of the time it feels like you're not wanted. You don't want to buy the thing anyway. You're just there to window shop. You're just there to touch things you can't afford ever. And even if that's not the feeling, then there's an air of arrogance, an air of, oh, we work at the custom shop. Who are you? We know everything about, we have the people from Gibson come in here and they're our buddies. There's some kind of elitism or even sometimes plain and simple hostility happening. For example, there are some places, I've seen it, I've experienced it, where you walk in and you want to check out a higher end guitar. And the question comes, and you know this question, are you intending on buying this? Well, none of your business. Well, technically some of their business. But that's a hostile question and that's dumb. What if I'm not? What if I just want to find out how good it really is? What if the experience of playing a custom shop Strat for $5,000 is going to tell me that the one for 2,000 is close enough, and I'm going to walk out with a 2,000 euro one. With that hostility, are you going to buy that? I'm going to walk out not buying fuck all. I'm just going to say, yep, I'm going to order that online now, thank you, at a different shop. So that experience of playing something higher end might not make you buy it, but leads you to make a buying decision for something else. It might spark the want, the desire for your dream guitar that you just played, that you now go and take a vacation job for, like I did when I was young, and save up the money for that instrument. So am I going to buy it right now? No. Will that spark my desire? Yes. So there's a million reasons to let people play these guitars. One of the big reasons is most of them are not in a price range where you have to ask this question. I understand I don't understand. I was thinking of jewelry. If someone goes into a watch shop and wants to try out a Rolex for $50,000, By trying it on, that is still a new watch. It's not going to be used and scratched or whatever. So, yeah, anyone should be able to do that, right? I understand if you're a Lamborghini dealership and someone wants to come in and test drive the $300,000 car. Well, technically the same thing applies. It could start a dream, and then someone is crazy enough to work their whole lives to afford that Lamborghini. They might post social media things. They might talk to their friends. Might be exposure. I get it. That's a lot of money. And the chances of someone buying that are slim. We're talking about guitars. On average, what you will find in a custom shop will not be over 10 grand. In the rarest cases, we're looking at maybe 20 grand, right? Well, why shouldn't anyone be able to play it? They're tools, people. They're freaking tools, okay? This gatekeeping thing, I don't touch it. It's literally, I don't know if that's gatekeeping. I'm using the words wrong. It's bullshit. That's what I'm trying to say. I get it. You're afraid that, you are the shopkeeper, that the stuff gets scratched up. Well, you know what? Then it gets scratched up. That has to be in your insurance. That is part of doing business. Getting asked, and I talked to some custom shop employees where I was recently and said, what do you think about it? Okay. Well, how do you treat people like this? And they said, anyone here can play any guitar. We will ask them to be careful with their belt buckle or maybe take that belt off. And of course, be careful with zippers, which is completely fair. If I have some high-end guitar in here, I might, and I actually don't, but it would be a fair thing to ask, can you be careful with your zipper and take your jacket off? Absolutely. Other than that, what's going to happen? A ding in the guitar? A scratch in the guitar? Okay. Oftentimes, these shops have departments that can buff these out. And even if that's not the case, then maybe I'll take my PRS private stock down $1,000, still make money on it. Yeah, I'm out $1,000. I get it. But that's the cost of doing business and showcasing something that potentially could be bought by someone. It has to be touched. It has to be a tool. The most ridiculous thing, of course, is if they do that with H-Dins. Now, why in the world would anyone? And this is not. I had $3,500. This might be in a custom shop. Why would anyone tell me, oh no, are you intending to buy this? What do you care? I can literally just rub this on my stairs. You know why? Do you see the scratches I just added to it? No, you don't. Can you actually tell which scratch came from Friedman and which scratch was done in the custom shop by some guy with a zipper? Well, you could see it on the Gibsons because they're actually beautifully, pristinely new, even though they're completely scratched off. Horrible, horrible aging job they do in the Murphy lab, like horrible. This thing is actually, it feels played in, aged in. This is scratched up. This is all beat up. There's literally nothing I can do to this instrument other than actually taking the neck. You don't want dings in the neck. Really dinging it hard on something and putting a dent in it, which is not going to happen. The worst that can happen to a scratched up instrument is it gets the tiniest bit of extra scratch. So aged instruments, yeah, that's just dumb. Now you take something high gloss or satin, Nick Huber, whatever. He would be the first one to tell any shop, please let anyone play my guitars. Nick was here at 42 Gear Street twice. And Nick just let his guitars be played everywhere. They were in the garden, in my mom's house. They were everywhere. They're hanging in the garage. They probably came back with some dings and dongs. Very likely. But you know what? Cost of doing business. Go and fix them. That's what he does. We had one Ibanez custom shop here dinged. Well, either that's now the show guitar or whatever, but I'm sure they have some kind of insurance that takes care of it. I understand that the shop doesn't want that, But alienating the customers over it is ridiculous. The reason why I wanted a Nick Huber so badly, and why I got my first one, Heidi, because of the mountain, according to Leslie. The reason why I got this is because years ago at the Musikmesse in Frankfurt, look at that Okume flame, that's ridiculous. I got to try one at the booth. And anyone, and I was hesitant, but anyone could just sit down at the Nick Huber booth with some True Rock amps and try these guitars. And Nick isn't going to prevent a kid or anyone from playing their guitars. It sparks the dream because you could feel it, you could feel it, touch it, play it, experience the vibrations, and then you want one of these guitars. That's how you do it. Okay, you start with a bit of cocaine and then they get addicted. I got addicted to that tone when I touched my first Nick Huber back at the trade show. And I'm pretty sure Nick would tell anyone in any store, let people touch them. Of course, it's not his decision. And then at stores, they are like, oh no, you can only touch one if you actually show me your bank account and a stool sample. It's insulting. Okay? It really is dumb. I would like to know what your experiences are around the world. Maybe this is a very German thing, but I mean, okay, there was the vintage and custom shop at Guitar Center on Sunset in Hollywood, not in Hollywood, in is it Hollywood, LA? On Sunset Boulevard. I worked there. They added a huge vintage shop. It's beautiful, but again, I mean, they're vintage guitars. What's going to happen? They're already all banged up. Who knows if it's an extra bang from you or not? It's ridiculous. I'm even getting more pissed off and even boycott companies doing that at trade shows. The whole do not touch. Nick is 50-50 there because sometimes there are stickers in there that say sold. Up to the point where the sold sticker goes in, touch all the way, okay? I get it if now this is a customer's guitar, and obviously he's got to protect the customer's property. I fully get that. But is it Pagelli? It's not Pagelli. Maybe. I mean, I was at the Montreux show, and people show these artsy artwork guitars, or you go to the custom shop thing at NAMM, the boutique builder's place, and it's all like, well, look, but don't touch. They are tools. You made the tools. If something happens to them, fix it. Have insurance for the trade show. But letting people not touch a thing that's supposed to be experienced, anyone should experience it, and it sparks the dream. Just seeing it does not spark the dream. It could also ruin the dream. You could always want a guitar, and then you play and you're like, that's not, I'm not comfortable on this. Okay, well then dream done, and at least you know. That's also a good thing. So I don't get it. It just really pisses me off. And same thing with Fender master build custom shop thing. So at NAMM, they used to have, let's see what's happening in 25. They're coming back. They used to have this huge hall all the way upstairs. Gigantic booth. And of course, you could try things out. But then there were all these one-off master build or custom shop things. Yeah, I get it. $5,000, $8,000, expensive guitars with artwork, knitting on it, whatever, weird things. And I get it that maybe not every one of the millions of people should walk up and walk away with it and plug it into an amp. But a supervised, here, I'll give this to you. Do you have a belt on? You're just showing them and people can't experience them. You're a Fender. Have insurance. Make another fucking guitar if it gets so scratched up that you can't sell it. Most of them are aged anyway. Okay? And if they're not, I mean, what can happen? At NAMM, there's space. You're not going to bang it into shit. Put a protective film on the back, which is really where it touches your body or jacket or whatever. A supervised, you want to play this? Sure, here. A supervised, you want to play this? Here, I'm going to time you. You got 2 minutes because we got other people waiting. All good. But no. You can see these, but you cannot touch them. They're going to be bought by shops. Then they're going to go into shops where people say, oh, no, you can't touch them. How are you planning on selling these things if nobody ever gets to touch them? These are not Ferraris, okay? Yes, $20,000 is a shit ton of money. It is a shit ton of money for only some of the richest guitar players out there. I understand. But I think we should all have a chance to experience them so that we know whether or not we ever want one, or if it's really just a fancy graphic or a guitar with leather around it. I just filmed one of those. By the way, follow Leslie's Guitar of the Day on my Instagram, link in the end card, or Facebook or whatever. Leslie describes guitars. A lot of mine, some at Thomann, probably some of the new Ibanez that come out next year. So Leslie describes guitars the way she sees them. It's funny as fuck, I think.
Today's guitar of the day is Thomas Blug's guitar. I am told it's a 61 Strat, and it looks like it hasn't been cleaned since 1961. Some of the dots have been rubbed off. There are surely some cooties on this guitar. It's cream colored now, but perhaps it started off as a white guitar. Pretty sure those springs are supposed to be covered, but the plate has just fallen off. This guitar has seen some things, and it might just be time for a new one.
I have never had a very open, non-distant experience in a custom shop by the staff, which would be the best you could hope for. Usually it's an air of arrogance. Worst case is, you're going to buy this? If not, I'm not going to let you play it. I think shops should really think about this, look at the insurance policies, and just frickin' let people play these things. I really want to hear your experiences below in the comments. Because maybe some shops see this and go like, well, this is what people experience? Well, maybe we're taking that spark away from so many kids, youth, whatever. If you don't know you want it, you're not going to buy it. If you can't play it, you don't know you want it. It's that easy. I have really some of the most high-end guitars in the world in this room, from the Panucci's, the Friedmans, the Hubers, the Magmalls, the high-end Ibanez, the Valiants, Sully, Heritage, Aviator, blah, 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 custom shop. Schecters, this is all really high-end stuff. And anyone coming in here, I'll grab any guitar and give it to them. I don't even say take your jacket off. If you want to play some guitars, come here. I'll let you. No question asked. You want to buy this? No, you can't. It's mine. Fuck off. Let me know what you think. And animals at the end.
The garden's full of last year's leaves. The mailbox of reminds of fees, and I'm not sure I'm needing all those shoes. The hall's a mess, can't find my keys. The kid is hurt his other knee, and now we're cutting back on all the booze. A hair getting grey,